Hey guys, thank you for joining us for this special video presentation. Today we'll be bringing you a video that centers around improving your seated posture, tips and tricks you can do while at your desk, and also stretching and strengthening exercises you can do in the studio to help alleviate niggles and stiffness. We have teamed up with Dr. Sher from Sydney Spine and Sports Clinic to give you some ideas to help improve your posture, flexibility, strength, while also reducing pain and stiffness as a result of poor seated position. Hope you guys enjoy.
Hi, my name is Sher and I'm a chiropractor at the Sydney Spine and Sports Clinic. I work mainly in the CBD branch, but I also work in Double Bay, and we've got other branches in Alexandria and Drummoyne. Today I just wanted to talk a little bit about sitting. Now, the importance of not only sitting properly and having good posture, but also moving around your workstation as well, especially if you're doing a lot of work from home. Sitting on the sofa is not the greatest. So this little chat mainly pertains to well set up office spaces, and if you can just do these 5 little pointers that I'm about to give you, or at least 3 or 4 of them, then that'll have a profound effect on your back health and your spine health. After we break off, we're going to go across to Vision Personal Training with this video, and they're going to give you some exercises and some strength moves and some stretches which will help you to sustain improvements that you make to your posture and also treatment advances. So they'll help you to actually get stronger and more flexible to be able to sustain any treatment changes. So firstly, sitting has been talked about in the press as the new smoking, and while I disagree, it's sitting still and not changing your position with poor posture that is pretty rubbish for your back. So what I want to talk to you about is the short rotators and muscles that cross between the vertebrae. They are called our stabilizer muscles, and they contract through reflex reaction. And they're there to protect us. So if we sneeze or we cough, they suddenly contract and they keep our spine nice and stable, hopefully preventing injury. Now when we sit, those become weak and inactive. So that when we sneeze and we've got weak and inactive reflex stabilizers, what tends to happen is that we sneeze and an injury potentially occurs, and then they contract. Now the injury's occurred, so one thing that they will then do is they will remain contracted to try and protect that injury, and there you've got spasm. So that's one of the main things we want to help you avoid, is to make those reflex reactors a lot stronger and more activated. So one of the ways we can do that is to be constantly moving around, and that leads me to tip number 1. Don't sit for hours at your workstation without taking a break. Stand up every 20 or 30 minutes. Walk away ideally from your workstation, just a minute or 2. If you can't and you're in the middle of Zoom to Zoom meetings, what you can do is at least stand up, stretch towards the sky for 20 or 30 seconds, and then sit down and start working again. Tip number 2, your monitor should be around about eye level. So your eyes should line up with your knuckles when you're touching the top of your monitor, and your monitor should be 1 arm level at least away from you, so that you're not tending to have it too close, and also not so far that you're having to lean into it. Tip number 3 is your keyboard and mouse should be close to your body, so that you're again not reaching forward towards them. So your elbows nice and relaxed at your side, and your hands down onto the top of the keyboard and the mouse. And your mouse should be quite close to your body, but your keyboard also should not be elevated at the top. Have it flat. Tip number 4, your feet should be flat on the ground. If you do and must sit cross-legged, don't cross at the knees, cross your legs at the ankles. And also if you're going to put right over left or left over right, then swap around halfway through each time you stand up, change that position around. And my last tip is to do something called a far gaze. So you're spending all this time looking at a close thing like your monitor, and you're not spending very much time looking far away from you. So if you shift your vision and your gaze a little bit and look far away, you give the short muscles, the muscle holding you into short position, a bit of a break, and you're contracting other muscles, and that can significantly reduce eye strain and diminish headaches. So we're going to cross over to vision now. The thing we like about them and why we work with them, and incidentally they're right next door to us in the city, is that they are very meticulous with their form, and they are very, very careful with how they take you through progression. And we like that slow progression, and the changes become much more sustainable afterwards. So I'm going to go across to vision. Thank you for listening, and if you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out. greg@sydneyspine.com.au. Anytime we're here. Thank you very much.
Okay guys, so let's have a look at our first exercise. A simple chest stretch to loosen primarily the pec major. To begin, place your elbow 90 degrees against a fixed vertical support, such as a rack or a door frame, and then externally rotate your lower arm at the elbow away from the support to provide a deeper stretch. With your body secured in place, by engaging your core and legs, rotate your upper body gently away from the secured elbow until you feel a gentle stretch across your chest. Ensure that your shoulder blades are retracted back and down to help prevent engaging the neck muscles. For our next exercise, we will look at lengthening the latissimus dorsi. To begin, use a fixed implement such as a bench or bed, and while in a kneeling position, secure your elbows and clasp your hands together for support, keeping your lower arms vertical and pointing to the sky. Maintaining your elbows in this fixed position and keeping your lower arms vertical, gently drive the hips back and lower the chest to the floor, placing your head in between your arms. You may not have the flexibility in your shoulders at this point to go all the way, but your goal will be to have your ears reach your biceps. Our next exercise will look at improving the mobility of your thoracic spine. Laying on the floor in a prone position with your arms above, rotate your body gently either to the left or right. Be sure to keep both toes secured to the ground and your arms above in a wide position. Rotate as far as you can go, holding the stretch for a few seconds before rotating to the other side. Again, your flexibility may limit your range of motion at the beginning, but your goal would be to improve your flexibility to allow both shoulders to approach the floor as close as possible. The first strengthening exercise is the classic face pull. Using a resistance band or cable machine, place the attachment point approximately head height and secure your body with your legs and engage your core. Using a suitably light resistance, place your shoulder blades in the back and down position and begin by pulling your arms towards you so that the end position allows the shoulder and elbow joints to finish at 90 degrees with your thumbs approximately eye height. Be sure not to brace through the neck and finish with straight wrists and thumbs pointing back and behind you. Our next strengthening exercise will be the band pull apart. Using a TheraBand, secure your body by bracing the core and legs with your arms outstretched in front of you and your hands in the prone position, thumbs pointing in, maintaining tension in the TheraBand. Bracing your shoulders back and down, maintain locked and straight arms and begin by pulling the band apart slowly so that your arms finish perpendicular to your body to form a T. At the same time, rotate your hands so that your thumbs finish pointing behind you in the supine position. Return the arms to the starting position under control and do not let the TheraBand slacken. Be sure to keep your arms parallel to the ground throughout the movement and do not let the hands drop towards the ground. The last exercise will be the Superman. Laying in a prone position with arms and legs outstretched, brace your shoulder blades back and down, and with a deep breath, attempt to lift the chest off the ground by contracting the postural muscles of the lower back and the glutes respectively. Your goal will be to elevate and maintain this position for a few seconds. This exercise can be quite difficult, and you may not have the strength or flexibility to elevate and maintain this position yet. However, start slowly, and I'm sure it will improve.